Welcome back, Baker Nation. This is Hannah Albright reporting for Baker Athletics. The Wildcats moved up in the national rankings from 15 to 14 after their win last weekend over Central Methodist. J.D. Woods was named the Heart of America Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week after he had 27 carries, 221 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Today we'll be talking with senior linebacker Indy Allen to preview the upcoming game. So, Indy, in last weekend's game against Central Methodist, you led the team in tackles. Now, what has been contributing to your success here?
Every week we have a competition about who's getting more tackles between Keegan and I, or Nate Dogg and I, and it just contributes on the field that we all try and put effort in. And when everybody's putting that effort in, it's hard to be beaten. And that's just my goal of every game, is trying to get the most tackles and help out my defense.
Right, and then, so last year you were named first team all-conference linebacker. Now, what has been your top priority for this season?
Just every day trying to make myself better and how I can make my team better. And I feel like if I'm being a good leader on the field, it'll show that younger freshmen on the field do their job and how to fit the right gap, or just being a good leader, or getting in the office and being there with Coach Thorne and just learning the defense and how to stop the offense on Saturdays.
So in last weekend's game, that was the third straight game that the team has allowed 7 points or less. Now, what is going to be the contributing factor to stopping the ball this weekend?
Well, a big factor is just since they beat us last year at their place, we all just want to come out and just give them all we got and put in all the effort into just ruining their season. I mean, because they ruined ours last year for a little bit, and then just getting in the film room, doing our job, making sure the defense is where they need to be, and being fundamental sound and doing our right techniques. So I think that's the best thing we can do on defense.
The team currently ranks number 4 in the national rankings for scoring defense per game. Now, is this something that helps to motivate the team?
Absolutely. When we go out there and get a stop on defense, motivates our offense to go out there and get the ball and try and get first downs and get a touchdown. And whenever that happens, it motivates our defense to get more turnovers. And just being in the office with Coach Thorne helps us to create these turnovers. And whenever we're on the field, we always want to be our best and be fundamental sound and always have the right technique. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Andy. We look forward to watching you this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Here's sportscaster Tom Hedrick with Coach Grossner.
Saturday afternoon at Liston Stadium at 1 o'clock, it's the #1 winning football team in the NAIA, Mo Valley, 620 wins against the Baker Wildcats #2 at 605. That tells you a lot about the game and the series, doesn't it?
Yeah, you throw out the records. We've had some really good games in the last 14 years. Paul Trott and Monty do a great job. They've been there since, Coach Thorne and I have kind of been here together the whole time. And you never know, Tom. I mean, we were undefeated last year going over there and felt pretty good about ourselves, and they humbled us. So I expect the same type of game.
So you got motivation. The interesting stat to me in that game, you had 551 total offensive yards. They had 234. But only on the ground that they have like 37 yards rushing. That's the key factor against Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, last year the stats said we won, we didn't.
Right.
You watch the game, they always stayed a couple scores ahead. We stumbled in the red zone a little bit, moved the ball all over the field, but just didn't finish. And they made the plays to win it. And I think rushing stats will be big Saturday. They've always been very stubborn against the run, against everybody. They led the country many, many years in rush defense, and I'm sure that's going to be their priority.
Well, 5 years in a row they led. Monty did a great job against the run. Now, take a look at Marco. Marco in that game threw for enough yards, about 370. However, in that ball game, I remember 3 times, went back in the pocket, tried to run, tackled him for a long loss. He's learned when to dump the ball, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think that was part of our, bad rushing stats at times last year. He was learning, he was learning how to play in the pocket. Coach Morris has done a great job with him as far as pocket presence and what to do when he doesn't see what he wants down the field, is step up and maybe out, or step up and run. And I think you've seen that this year. Sure. He's really doing a good job of it. The thing he's doing really well, and what hurt us early in the year, is protecting the football.
Sure.
We're now in the positive in turnover margin. We're second in the league. That's something we pride ourselves. They're early in the season after the second game, we were probably last in the nation. And so we've gotten better there. Our interceptions that day were 6. I'm not sure, we might have thrown 2 since then. And so we've done a good job of getting better and correcting our weaknesses.
And you take a look at them, they've always been a good defensive team and normally stop the run. That to me has been a little bit of a shock. Is that a shock to you a little bit?
Yeah, you're watching them play, and I got to watch them throughout the year, and they're scary. They've got a couple guys up front that are good. Linebacker play, they've always had great linebackers that really flew to the ball and whacked you, and then they've had a nice secondary behind it. I'm not so sure where the weakness is, but as an overall group, they've struggled at times. I know offensively their quarterback makes them go,
Right.
and in the last couple of weeks he's been injured a little bit, and so is kind of contained in the pocket, and that's not what they want to do with him. He's always ran around and made plays and really hurt us, and I expect that Saturday until I don't see it. He's the guy that when all else fails, Jake Bridges could make plays and pull out a win for him. So we've got to get after him.
You take a look at the comparative score. You beat Central 62-7. They lost 26-22. Is that anything that you hang your hat on, or do you say, hey, forget about it?
Yeah, not this year, not in our league. I mean, you could look Culver, Stockton, Grandview.
Right.
There's Culver, Stockton going to Evangel and almost knocking them off. I think this league, there's a lot of parity, and more than parity, there's matchups. How do you match up against a team? Last week I was real nervous about our matchup, and I was real nervous against Mid-America. I'm talking Southern Division, but I just felt like the matchups were tough, and we came through and played good football. I think the matchup this week is 2 similar teams, 2 mobile quarterbacks that can make plays, 2 good defenses, and I think turnover margin is going to be crucial. I think their punting game is really good. They got a nice punter.
Right.
Kicker's doing a nice job. I think we have good punters and kickers, so special teams will be big. The thing is, Tom, we've got to play better at home.
Right.
We were undefeated on the road. This is another big game at home. How are we going to react? So there's a lot of factors. They're going to come in here ready to beat us.
Sure they are.
They are. Their season. This would be a nice deal for to end the season for them, and then they play Mid-America the following week. But they're sitting on us and ready to come give us a battle.
You're now 14th. If you win 2 more games and move up to about 12th, would that give you the home field advantage in the playoffs?
No, I think you got to be top 8. There's a lot of games. Grandview Benedictine this week. In our Northern Conference, it's going to have a big deal. I think the KCAC's got some games going on. Kansas Westland seems to be doing well over there and running the table, so they could be a high seed. Even across the nation, that Oregon League that we're used to playing, boy, they've been beating each other up. I mean, there is good football out there, and there's some teams that probably deserve to be in the top 16 that are knocking each other off, and we'll see who survives there. Our buddies St. Francis,
right?
They've had 2 losses, but they're sitting like, okay, they're probably in, but a higher seed than normal, because there's 2 teams out there. Marion, has had a great year. There's another team in there. Well, the 2 Michigan schools in their league are really good. And then you look at Morningside.
Sure.
They've done nothing wrong. They're number 1. Northwestern Iowa played them to the hill. So they're sitting in the top 5 spot. You always project and try to figure things out. I don't know where we'll end up, but right now it looks more like we'll be on the road. and against a good football team. But you got to get there.
Right.
You know, I can talk all we want. We got 2 football games left against 2 good football teams.
Is it kind of fun and challenge you for you to go against a guy like Paul Troth, who's one of the better coaches around?
Yeah, you know, we as a staff love this type of matchup because we know what we're getting over there. They're not going to change much. They're going to bring a good football team here, and they're going to play sound. They've got great athletes, and so yeah, it's always an honor and a challenge to face a staff that's been together like we have, and we know each other pretty good, and it's a good matchup.
Good luck Saturday
All right.
afternoon. Broadcast time will be at 12:30. We'll be on www.bakerradio.org. Let's fill that stadium. Should be a great football game. The Baker Wildcats against Missouri Valley.